Hi, Robert Anthony here from MacTuts Plus. It's inevitable when using your Mac that you will eventually compress files into a zip archive, either for storage, backing up, to email, or to save a bit of hard drive space. But such is life that if something can go wrong, chances are it eventually will, and you'll be left with a damaged zip archive that you can't seem to open. I want to show you how you can use Terminal's zip commands to target a damaged zip archive, and if all goes well, repair the archive, and if not, then try to salvage as much as you possibly can. To demonstrate, I have a zip archive here of all the Logic Pro project files of a production that I've recently finished. I had a friend over in my studio, and I wanted to show him how I achieved some of the sounds in the song. So I clicked to unzip the archive using OS X's built-in archive tool. All was well until I saw this error message. Not a problem, I thought. I'll just use another app to unzip it. And right about here is when I realized I was in trouble. So, like any tech-savvy person, I proceeded to try and extract the archive a few more times. Just in case Finder was playing a joke on me. I finally accepted that the archive was gone, and with it, my project files, and all my hopes and dreams of being a musician. But then, my friend chimed in and suggested that I try using Terminal's zip commands. If you open up Terminal, in addition to making single-line command changes, you can also use Terminal to make changes to files and folders. If you type the word zip and hit return, you'll be presented with a text-based menu of Terminal commands that can be used when making changes to zip files. At the top, right below the copyright information, you will see a sort of command line formula for entering in actions. And right below that, you'll see all the options that can be performed. The one we're interested in is right here, Fix Zip File. So going by the guide at the top, we can see that we first need to type in the word zip, then the option we want to perform from the list here, then the path to the file. But if you place the zip archive in your home folder, you can omit the path, as the home folder is the default place Terminal will look for the file. I'll place the zip file in my home folder, then I'll rename it so there are no spaces in the name. Back in Terminal, again going by the guide at the top, I'll type in zip space dash capital F space broke.zip and hit return. And we get a warning, but not to worry. If we read, we can see that Terminal is telling us that the fix actions require an out function. Below, we can see another example, in damaged archive and out fixed archive. This is because if Terminal can, it will actually create a new zip archive from what it can salvage from the damaged one, if it can't repair it completely. So let's try it again. Zip space dash capital F space broke.zip space dash dash out space. And I'll call the new archive Please Work, because at this point I was getting a little desperate. Cross your fingers and hit return. And again with an error. But there is hope, because if we read, Terminal is actually talking back to us now about our damaged archive. Terminal is telling us that it can see that this is a mostly intact archive and that it is missing the in signature. And here at the bottom, Terminal is telling us to use the -ff command to try and repair this archive. Third time's the charm, so let's try one more time. Zip space -ff for try harder space broke.zip space dash dash out space please work dot zip and hit return. And at last, Terminal to the rescue. We can see here that Terminal is going to salvage what it can from this damaged archive. Terminal is asking us if this is a single disk archive, meaning is it a complete archive unto itself, or is it part of a larger archive? Hit Y for yes, and hit return. And if you've ever experienced the feeling of losing important files, then this is probably one of the greatest things you'll ever see. Terminal is extracting what it can from the damaged archive, and it is repacking them into a new archive that it is creating with the name that we specified. If we go to my home folder, there's the new archive, and with it, my music career is back. Now, I'm obviously joking, but losing files due to a corrupted archive can range from slightly annoying to something potentially devastating, depending on what they are. But as always, OS X offers up some very useful tools that, as I've demonstrated here, can really save the day. This is Robert Anthony for MacTuts Plus. Thanks for watching.